IT security is an increasing concern to most business leaders. Just want to talk briefly about what you should be doing to make sure that you've got systems in place to manage your IT from the point of view of security. The first thing you'll need to have in place is definitely a up-to-date system for all your users. One of the problems that we had traditionally was there was no easy way of monitoring and managing that updates were being applied, that antivirus was working. Our management tool that we use nowadays gives us an overview, and we can quickly see if a machine hasn't applied its updates or if a machine hasn't got antivirus or it's not updating, and then immediately we can log on and address that. In fact, we can just push the software out, we don't even need to touch the machine. The biggest problems that we see really are people accidentally making a mistake and doing stuff that causes data loss, and people's malware that are running scripts that's doing stuff in the background. Crypto ransomware is a massive problem. What we're seeing is that people are clicking on a link in an email or visiting a web page, it's installing this virus that's encrypting all the data across the network, and then you can't access any of your data. It's quite difficult to keep it off your network, but there's certainly a lot of things that we can do to keep it at bay that a lot of businesses just aren't doing. As well as keeping your machines fully patched and the antivirus working, you need to make sure your users are educated of what to look for and what to do when they think they have a problem. A few years ago we weren't really that worried about malware and pop-up windows on web pages, but now we really try and keep this stuff off all the networks that we manage at all times, because you don't know what it's going to download next. Every user should have a unique password that they know and their own unique login. Really, we want the same login to work across all systems that those users use, and the password should be sensible, not password 1 or whatever. You could enforce secure passwords, and I recommend that you do that. I don't recommend that you enforce password changes too often, because if you do that, people just add a digit to the end of their password or something and they don't actually use a secure password, or they leave it on a post-it note on their desk, which means that it's useless really anyway. But do think about the fact that most of the attacks that you're likely to see are going to be through automated systems. So if you keep your systems secure, make sure that you've got a firewall in place, make sure the ports are locked on your router, make sure that everything's all up to date. That's probably the best thing you could do to to keep this stuff at bay. If you do get attacked, you want to quickly try and mitigate that risk. So you want to get these machines off the network, and you want to try and find where this problem is and what machines it's infected as quickly as you can. And that again is where our management tool comes in really handy, because we can look across the network, we can see what's happening, and we can make a decision about what to do. In some cases we might pull the whole network until we can get on site and just make sure that everything's clear. A lot of people are really concerned about people hacking into their systems, but it's much more likely that staff are going to be able to get systems and take data away with them if they're leaving for another job. So you need to think about how you can restrict what data people have access to. And in the small business, it's often difficult because people want access to the systems and you don't want to control it too much. So there's always a balance between security and keeping things locked down and making sure that people have access to the systems that they need and they can do what they need. And again, that also comes down to education and training. So it's much better if you say, please don't install software on your computer, please just ask us and we'll do that for you. And especially if we've got these one-click installs, it doesn't take us a lot of time to do, and it's part of the managed service we provide. If you want to go to the next level and you want to really lock things down and keep things absolutely secure, so if you're dealing with confidential data or financial data, you might want to do this. We actually have an IT security as a service product that we can provide to you, in addition to our managed IT as a service or hardware as a service product. If you'd like to know more, we'd love to have a chat. Please feel free to get in touch with GoodChoice IT today. Thanks for watching.